All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is about 6:15, I think. Didn't get a great deal of sleep. This forest is definitely squatched. And I'm not even joking now. I'm being deadly serious. About 2:30 this morning, I heard something, the likes of which I have never ever heard in my life. No animal that I recognise or that I know makes a noise like that, and I was just laid in my sleeping bag, trying to figure out what it was for like half an hour. It only made the noise once, and annoyingly, I can't even remember now what it was like. Sorry, but yeah, there's been some really strange things in this forest last night. Late start for me, yes. Tired, yes. Did too much yesterday, yes. That's pretty much the size of things, really. I'm going to get myself packed up. I'm still really thirsty. I drank loads last night, obviously dehydrated from yesterday. There's mosquitoes outside the tent that I can hear quite loudly, obviously quite a few of them. It's funny, I've nearly binned my bottle of DEET about 4 times, but it's still in the side pocket of the backpack, so that'll be getting used today. Hopefully they won't be too bad from here on out. We'll see. Anyway, time for a bit of food and a drink, and then get the rest of this stuff packed up and get moving. Hopefully without running into any squatch. Well, I guess it's time to start walking again. That is the trail southbound, where I came from last night. And then northbound, we're headed this direction. This is the old dirt road that's out of use. See, it's blocked by some logs as well. This pale spot here is where I slept last night. Strange thing, I packed everything up inside the tent to avoid the mosquitoes, jumped out of the tent and covered my legs in DEET, and haven't been bothered by a single mosquito and haven't even heard one. So I don't know what's happened there, but I'm not complaining. I was sat having my coffee in the tent before I was packed up, and the lady came past heading north. And obviously, because I've got all the windows open in the tent, it's quite obvious that I'm sat in there. She can't, I'm sure that she wasn't staring in, but obviously she couldn't help notice that there was someone sat in there having coffee. And she stopped and had a few words. And I said to her, I heard the strangest thing in the forest last night. I said, I've never heard anything in my life like it before. And she said, what does it sound like? I said, well, I'm really sorry, but I just cannot. I said, it made the noise once. It lasted for maybe like 5 or 6 seconds. And I said, I really, for the life of me, cannot remember what it was. What it went like. And she said, it's possible. It might have been a baby bear. She said, they make some strange noises. She said that they quite often sound like baby pigs. And I just wonder, it's just strange because, like, definitely not an elk, definitely not a fox, definitely not deer, certainly not a grown bear, I know that much. There's not really much left that it could have been. I don't even know if there's mountain lions up here, but nothing like a mountain lion. So a little bit of a mystery, really. I wish I could remember what it sounded like. Really do. I think in about 8 miles this morning is the Forest Service Road, where I'm sure quite a few people will be heading into Trout Lake to pick up the resupply packages or just going for a break. But yeah, thank you to Max on Buy Me a Coffee. Thank you very much, Max. Glad you're enjoying the journey. And a massive hello and thank you to my good friend Mark on the trail back home. It's really nice of you, mate, to send that support. Like I said in the message, I really didn't expect it, because you genuinely have supported me, I think, a lot more than you realise with the messages and the voice notes. So eternally grateful for that, mate. And then for Whiffy as well on Buy Me a Coffee. That's really, really generous of you. Thank you so much. And again, like I said in the reply, after a very long day yesterday, just sat in the tent reading that note that you put on. That was really nice. Put a smile on my face. So thank you very much. And all the best to you guys. Well, that's pretty self-explanatory. Just hit the service road at mile 2,229. Got the registry to sign. Here we are, here's the road. Dirt road joins a paved road by the looks of it, and then there's the trailhead that I want just over the road there. Nice of somebody to put a trash bag there so people can empty stuff out. I recognise a few names there. Right. Horrible, horrible writing. And I chose the wrong pen. Rookie mistake. But there we go. Signed, sealed and delivered. Whew. Good morning once again. Just working my way through a bit of a burn area. I may be coming to the end of it, I'm not sure. It is just basically at the foot of Mount Adams. I can't show you because it's not visible at the moment, but literally like just up here somewhere, Mount Adams is front and centre. There's loads and loads of huckleberry bushes at the side of the trail. I've got to admit, it's one of the first times I've stopped and picked some and eaten them. There's just so many. Just look at them all here. All over. Bushes are just covered in them. I'm going to have one now. I know someone's going to probably comment and say, like, I hate to tell you this, but they're not huckleberries. I'm pretty sure they are. I've just been looking to try and figure out a plan for today. I know tomorrow is probably going to be the day that I'm going to be hitting the Goat Rocks Wilderness. And that is one place that I have been looking forward to getting to since I started on day one. Well, there you go. Talk about making you feel small and insignificant. That is a huge mountain. Had about a quarter to a half mile so far of these blowdowns, ranging in difficulty from stuff you can step over to stuff you have to like either go round or throw your poles over and actually climb over it. It all takes that extra energy, makes you sweat that bit more, tires you out that bit more. Don't realise just how much it does that. It's so hot as well. Just beating down on me at the moment. Well, if you thought Washington was all forests and trees, it has been for the last 2 days, but we're coming out of it now and we're coming into a few more views. Pretty amazing. Got a creek and a tent site in about, I think about 2.5 or 3 miles time. That's going to be my lunch stop. I don't have a great deal of water on me, so stop there. I think the heat's been getting to me a little bit as well, to be honest with you. It's just kind of subsided a little bit now, but it has been pretty high temperature for the last couple of hours. Well, as you can probably see, it's raining. I'm extremely happy about that because I was seriously struggling in the heat. I don't think it's going to be a great deal. I think it's going to be a little bit of a shower. But I was on my way to the creek and I didn't even know this little pond was here. And I just saw it through the trees. There's a little path down to the side of it. So I've got a little bit of shelter here from the rain. I think I'm just going to sit and watch the raindrops on the pond. It's quite relaxing. So, yep, this is going to be me for lunch. A beautiful little spot as well. Really nice. Well, it's almost like I'm back in Oregon. Crossed through some big lava fields. I've just glanced to my right now. I would have completely missed it if I didn't glance up at the time. But there is Mount Adams, and you got a really, really good view of the glacier down the centre of it. What I'll do, I'll stop recording so I can zoom in fully into it, and then you might get a slightly better shot of it. I also zoomed in with the phone camera and took a photo. I'll pop that up on the screen if I remember as well, just so you can see a little bit more of the detail of the glacier. It's pretty impressive, got to admit. It's a huge lump of cold stuff up there. The rain has stopped for now, but there is a lot of thunder banging around and there's a lot more dark cloud than there was as well, so I don't think it's quite finished with us yet. But that is a really cool picture. I really like that. Impressive looking mountain, definitely. I keep getting these stunning views of that glacier. I had one a little while since. Again, I'll try and put a picture up on the screen. But between the rumbles of thunder, you can actually hear the glacier creaking and moving. It's the strangest thing. I'm sure anyone who's heard it before will realise I'm not making it up or joking. It's like a creaking and a groaning. Really cool. I just thought I'd film a little bit now because I'm pretty certain that very shortly it's going to start tipping it down again. I've just been stood at a beautiful viewpoint looking out across the mountains to the other side of me. It reminded me of a view in NorCal. Kind of all the mountains like silhouetted and interlocking. But you could actually see the rain moving across there slowly. But there are some pretty dark clouds above me at the moment, so I think I'll be getting it shortly. Whew. It is Washington after all. You come here expecting rain. If you don't get it, there's something desperately wrong. Well, it's 4 p.m. and I'm at mile 2247.2. A tiny little path just through the trees off the side of the trail. Just noticed it at the last minute, popped out, and this view, you just come to. It's just breathtaking. It really is. Right about in the centre of the screen now, there is a huge mountain that I can just barely make out the shape of. Probably won't be showing much on the camera at all, but my goodness, this is absolutely stunning. The thunder's still going. There was a bit of rain, but most of it was actually hailstone. Well, I certainly won't be filtering that water. And the other little issue, the bridge is dead. So we'll see if we can get across that without falling in. Evening all, it's about 6:10. Just stopped to get a little bit of water. A lot of people at the last water source. It was like I think it was called Lava Spring. Quite a few tent spots there and they were all taken. I've got about 3.5 miles to go to where I wanted to get to tonight. It's a little meadow. By all accounts, it is a very popular spot because it's quite nice and it's got a water source very close by as well. So I'm thinking that I might be out of luck when I get there. Might not be any spots left, but I guess we'll just see. I'll have to stop anyway to get water because I only grabbed a bit from the last spot. It stops raining and it looks like in this area it hasn't rained at all. The ground is very dry, the plants are dry, the foliage. I could do with it holding off because my gear is just about dried out now as well. It'd be nice to get to camp and get set up before it starts raining again. It is still giving the odd rumble of thunder, so I guess anything's possible. Just have to keep my fingers crossed that it holds off for another 3.5 miles. Right, folks, I have got to where I wanted to get to this evening, and I said before that the ground was dry where I was hiking. Well, I passed through that area and it is now wet again. So it's been raining here definitely, and there's still thunder rumbling in the distance as well. Oh dear. Silly Paul has folded his Tyvek up the wrong way so that the side that goes to the floor of the tent is all wet. Idiot. Maybe find a different place for it than strapped to the top of the backpack might be a better idea. There is a robber jay just landed on my selfie stick. I don't know if it came out on the camera or not, but it's literally flying around. It's landed on the trekking poles a couple of times, and it just landed on the selfie stick as well. No doubt it'll be after whatever food I have. Yeah, there's a couple of them around. So I was actually thinking there was going to be a lot of tents here, but so far I've only seen one. But I will say that it's pitched really inconsiderately. There's like 3 really nice tent spots up there, and they've pitched it like right in the middle of all 3 spots, which I think is a bit naughty. See how we do with this tent. It was, when I put it up last night, it was still a little bit damp, but it was all dry this morning when I packed it away. It's just a bit fiddly with the corner guys, because you've got to make sure that you get the guy for the actual floor of the tent. You've got to make sure that it's underneath the guy for the exterior of the tent. Otherwise it kind of all gets cotted up, and it doesn't tension properly. So you won't be able to see on the camera, but there's a yellow guy and a black guy, and you've got to make sure that the yellow one is on the top and the black one is on the bottom and not tangled at all. So once one end's in, you come to this centre pole and just tighten those up a little bit just to give it some tension. There's no doubt a lot of different ways of putting this tent up, but this is the way that I've kind of got used to doing it now. Might have to go and find some rocks to put on the corner stakes. It's a little bit like the X-Mid I've found, where there's a lot of tension on these 4 corner points once you've actually got the tent up. It's not, well, I don't find it the easiest tent to pitch, I'll be honest, completely honest, but once it's up, it's a veritable palace inside. The ground is extremely soft, actually. I guess that's because of the rain. I like to use long tent stakes for the corners, as I said, just because there's so much tension on them. If you use something like a mini groundhog with this, if it gets windy, you're going to be in trouble, basically. Just make sure the Tyvek's in the right place and it's protecting the actual floor of the tent. I don't think I've done a very good job of this. Ooh. Stood up too fast and now I've gone dizzy. Just retension those if they need it. Make sure that stake's back down. Tension the corner guys. Push that one in. I'm going to tell you right now that the ridgeline is not going to be taut. There's a little grommet inside the door vent there. Oh, I've got that way, Tyvek way over. Outside. Let's try and bang off most of the dirt from the trekking pole. One thing I've heard a lot of people complain about with tents on this trail is the zippers on the doors. Like having quite a few problems with, especially in the desert, with like grit and sand and dust getting in them. Ugh, that's awful. It's going to have to do. So far with this one, I've not had any problems whatsoever with the zippers. I do like to roll the doors back. If it's going to rain tonight, if it looks like it's going to rain, or if it starts raining, it's very easy just to lean out of the tent, unclip the doors, and zip them up. Got magnetic toggles on the doors, like most tents these days. What I also find is that once you've got the doors tied back, you can go and tighten these corner guys, and that actually sometimes makes a huge difference with the apex line. It's made a bit of a difference this time. If I really wanted to, I could guy out this apex line and pull it a lot tighter, but there's just no need. It's not like there's a storm coming or anything like that, he says. And then it's just a case of just retensioning these end lines just to make sure that they're nice and taut, and making sure that none of the corner stakes have popped out whilst I've been tightening things, which in soft ground does occasionally happen, but so far hasn't. Right, all done. That is it. It's time to get inside and make myself some food. Evening, everyone. It is 8:17 p.m. and this is the view I've got from my tent door. I'm expecting a lot of condensation in the morning. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be packing up a very wet tent tomorrow morning, but it can't be helped. I am camped at mile 2256.9, which puts me at 32.9 miles for today, which it's over 30, so I'm still pleased. Anyway, folks, as usual, take care of yourselves, and I shall see you on the next episode.